it's now going to increase healing on us and doesn't use up our rage. Really good glyph to take, guys. Really important to take that. But the most important glyph to take in your mages, Feral Druids do have the ability of having great major glyphs, is the glyph of Maul. And warriors cried their eyes out that they don't have this glyph for their heroic strike. Our Maul ability now hits one additional target for 50% damage. So we have a natural cleave now every time we maul. Great for heroics, guys, because we're going to be cleaving all the time. So every time we bash a mangle off, a maul, we're going to hit 2 targets. It's really a big damage buff. It's an amazing glyph. It can cause you trouble sometimes if you don't want to be hitting the other target, but that's rarely going to happen in heroics, and very, 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 very rarely happens in raids of any description from endgame to tier 11. Okay, so pick up your glyph of Maul. Just be ready if you need to change it. Glyph of Rebirth. This is really important. Every now and again as a tank we need to rebirth somebody. Rebirth is a very powerful raid cooldown. Now this glyph is just going to make sure they come up with 100% health. No doubt in a raid you've seen a million times where you've combat rest somebody or you've rebirthed them, they've come back and they've died instantly to some idiot AoE that they forgot to take into account as they were rezzed. So if we're off tanking or we have to do tank switches so the other tank taunts off us, we're free to just usually do a little bit of damage, but there's a raid member dead. We can go ahead and rebirth them. They're going to come back with full health, get back into our tanking. Everybody's happy, okay? Healers haven't had to stop. Warlocks haven't had to cast a soulstone. And DKs, and as a DK main, it saddens me greatly when you have to res somebody because it costs me a lot of damage. Go ahead, tanks. Do it if you can. Glyph of Challenging Roar. Reduce the cooldown on Challenging Roar by 30 seconds. If we need that big AoE taunt, there it is, and we've got it on a lower cooldown because we're a tank. Glyph of Dash, reduce the cooldown of Dash by 20%. Nice and handy when we're moving our heroics quickly if we need to get somewhere fast. Let's see if, go back to the rebirth situation. Somebody in our raid has just died. They're a little bit far away from where we're tanking. Our other tank is taunted. We can go, dash off, come back, rebirth them, and then our dash is going to be back later on should we need it to move away from something quickly. And our Glyph of Outrun Bird and Rebirth, please pick this up. Rebirth is free. Carrying reagents to rebirth people is just a nightmare, especially if you're in a raid and you're having to do a lot of rebirths in one night. On progression raiding, for example, and you've run out of seeds, I believe the seeds, to rebirth people. It's just a nightmare. Pick that up. It's going to save you so much more cash than actually bothering to carry the reagent anyway, okay, guys? It just frees up inventory space and makes your life a whole lot easier. So that's our Feral Druid. A quick look at our abilities before we go into the dungeon. We've got Mangle, which is our big hitter. We're going to be cycling through. That's got a nice 6-second cooldown, so we're going to be cycling through our mobs while we're tanking, mangling on cooldown, getting that big heavy hit. It also allows us to increase the damage of Maul. We've got Lacerate here, which is just a stacking bleed. We're going to stack that when we can, when we're free. We don't do it a lot when we're AoE tanking, but when we do tank a boss, we're going to be lacerating in between and then pulverizing to use up that Lacerate and then refresh it with our crit buff. Okay, AoE tanking, we've got Swipe and Thrash, this new ability. So we're going to be using them alternately. If we pull more than a couple of mobs, we're going to be swiping them, and then we're going to be thrashing them, then swiping them and thrashing them while throwing mangles and mauls in between. Really easy stuff. The rest of it is pretty basic, guys. Feral Charge, Taunt, and Maul. Nothing to worry about on our cooldowns. We've got Berserk and so on. But don't worry about using anything other, particularly in your first tanking experience. We're going to jump into Heroic now. Hopefully using the power of tank, we can jump straight in without any bother, and I won't have to stop and cut. Come to Daddy the Q. Oh, there we go. Nice and easy. Let's go straight in and see if we can get a nice big fatty chain pulls going. Show you it's really easy to chain pull. Let's change up the SCADA so you can see what's going on. Come on, guys. Don't let us down on the queue. Click that accept. You've been waiting 20 minutes for the queue, DPSers. Don't go AFK. One man remaining. Come on, we've got people waiting to see me throw in the big bear. They don't want to stare at this bear's ass standing doing nothing for this long. Come on, my man. Yes. Oh, we got Deadmines. Okay, well, let's do some speed clear at Deadmines. Might edit it a little bit just to cut it down a touch, but don't worry about that. I won't skip anything important. Right, we're in. So what do we do first time in? Throw in our Mark of the Wild. Get to where we need to be. Remember, cat farm increases our movement speed nicely by 15%. We're already at the mobs. Into bear farm. Using rage to generate some threat, and boom, we're off. Big mangle to start with. We've got another mob there, so we're going to swipe just to make sure we've got some aggro on it. Throwing a mangle, so we've got mangle on both targets, and now we're just mauling in between. And we've got a man down already. He's not prepared to do Deadmines, so don't particularly blame him. Deadmines is a very, very long and arduous journey. So we're just mangling and mauling on cooldown, guys. That's all we're doing. Go ahead and throw the demo roar on if you want. Just reduces their damage, physical damage distributed. No big deal. Mob's almost dead. Let's go and get the next ones. Boom, boom, boom. Big swipe in the middle. Big thrash. Now this is what I'm talking about. We're going to throw in our bark skin, a nice damage reduction. And all we're waiting for is our thrash to come off cooldown. And then we're going to swipe. And in that, we're going to look at the big mob. Get a fairy fire on him. Swipe. Thrash. Really easy. And we're just going to focus on the big guy. The little ones are going to die much before him. So we're just going to focus on this big dude. Everything else is dead. Lacerate at 2 stacks. If you see here, my stacks. So we've got 3 lacerates. We're going to throw on our pulverize. There it is. See the way it sucked off our lacerates? And then we're going to just carry on. Dead easy. And this is all it is to our bear. 2 mobs here. Big mangle for you. Start stacking our lacerates. 2 seconds on mangle. So we want mangle on both. Mangle on the second guy. And now we're off. So we're going to stack our lacerates as normal. Remember, our maul's hitting the other mob, so you don't need to worry about that. Lacerate at 3 stacks. Go ahead and pulverize it. Turn that into some good stuff. Another lacerate ticking on that guy. And just spread your threat around. Dead easy. We want 3 lacerates on every mob. Mangle switching around. Pulverize back up. Keep our pulverize going. Let's see if we can bring the guys into this room so we can pull the boss straight away. Thinking about what we're going to do next. No rage. Come on. This is your clear cast, by the way, guys. You wonder what these green things are? They give you a free attack. Doesn't cost any rage. What are you best using that on? Well, quite simply, Maul. Maul is our rage dump. So if we can get 3 Mauls on when our clear casting procs, happy days. We keep our rage nice and high. In. Come on, in. Good. We're off. Start off with a big fatty mangle. What we're going to do is we're going to get our lacerate up to 3. And then we're going to pulverize it, and then we're going to berserk. Oh yeah, here comes the damage. Big damage, big damage. And we've got tricks to the trade. Hopefully Whoopley picked that up from our guide, otherwise he's just a good rogue. We're happy with that. Pulverize is going. Berserk's got 10 seconds left, so we're just going to keep berserking. Keep mangling. There's no way anybody's pulling threat off us. He does threat reset this guy, but that's okay. Got our feral charge to get us back in the game. Oosh. Oosh. Okay, berserk's off. Sad face. Still got our pulverize. That's about to run off shortly. Come on. Throw on the pulverize. And that's all we're doing, guys. That is our boss fight done for as far as we're concerned, because we can't possibly lose aggro now. So we're just going to do some DPS. What we're going to do is try and switch it up to a catty. Start getting our cat on. Why not? As a feral druid, we have the ability. The guys can't handle this stuff. Turn back into the bear. Start picking up these ads for these guys. We'd like to do a little bit of cat DPS, but we're not going to be able to pull it off with these guys. No problems. Down we go. Come on, down we go. Down we go. Go on, die, you swine. And all we're doing to aggro these guys is just attack the boss and just throw out some thrashes and swipes. Job is a good one. Boss dead, man is good. Off we go. Just do a swipe on those. We're going to run around and do our main priority, which is to free the monkeys. We don't want monkeys going crazy. Hey, mine bunny, hot chick. Yeah. Now, I don't know why, but this trash hurts more than anything else. Remember, we're interrupting when we can. We're actually going to throw a big bash on the old mine bunny. Now, interrupt needed some rage. There we go. Oh, crikey. That's enough of those. Let's go and free some more monkeys to aid our damage. More monkeys! The people demand Planet of the Apes. As a bear, I find it obnoxious that the monkeys wouldn't naturally help me anyway. We're all part of the animal family. Interrupting as we go. Bit of a bark skin just to reduce our damage. Man's looking a little bit tight on our friend over there. Do a demo row. Get our Fairy Fire on this one to pull. Remember, Fairy Fire does a lot of threat as well, guys. It's a great pulling tool if something's just running in. Really easy stuff. There's another monkey there and we want his help. Come on, monkey. Monkey man. Remember, your maul's hitting 2 targets, so just using that maul is really a nice big buff. Just cleaving away constantly. A little bit of an interrupt there. We don't want no more drunken hazes on our friends. Python's looking a bit low. It's okay. We can carry on with one more mob. Not going to take too much from these. It's actually the raid who takes more damage from these, from that debuff that makes you bleed. Make me bleed, Gunter! Go on, Mr. Lackey, down you go. But see that debuff there? That's where the big damage comes from. It's actually not on us at all as the bear, as the tank. We don't take that much damage from these at all. I'm going to throw our really useless Innovate on him. Should we wait till he gets a little touch of mana? Drink Python? Yeah, Python's having a drink. Python! I like the idea that he's a pound tongue. Come on, Python! Python looks good in my opinion. Let's get the others. Okay, so what are we doing again with 2 mobs? We're just going to make sure we're mauling, because that's hitting both, and make sure Mangle's up on both targets. After we've got Mangle on both, bit of a demo raw, and just cycle through Mangles and Mauls while lacerating. Let's throw on a Pulverize, just start stacking lacerates up. Oh, my Pulverize missed. I didn't even notice. How sad. Python still looks good. Fearless. Oh, a clever name for a warrior that can't be feared. I like it. Let's get our Fairy Fire up on there. Make sure that our debuffs are on. Now, I'm not going to pulverize this. I'm just going to save my rage a little swish, and I'm going to pulverize at the very end, so I've got a nice big crit bonus going into the last boss, into the boss who's waiting for us over there. 18%, 10%. Pulverize. Go, go. Python won't need that much mana for this. We know that. Wait for our Pulverize to wear off. You see, single target tanking, this is why I'm sort of unimpressed with them. With Feral Druids these days, it's a little bit simple. You've just got your Mangle and your Maul. Other than that, you're lacerating in between and keeping Pulverize on as and when. Nothing special. Really, it's a very basic tank class. Even when you've got your Lacerate up, go ahead and feel free to use it again. Pulverize about to wear, refresh Pulverize, and just keep going. Restack it. So we need to tank this guy, get a Fairy Fire on him. Yeah, attack me all you want, Gearbreaker, slacker. Let me in, let me in. There we go. Oh, still got aggro. Everything's cool. I think Python probably disconnected me for pulling too quickly. It's okay, Python. I forgive you. Oh, look at the bet. Look at the bombs around here. Whoa! Come on, guys, you can't DPS that. It's full of bombs. Got yourself killed there, son. You're standing on a ton of bombs. Don't want to do that. Let's give him a big rebirth. Bump! He's up. Wait for Python to get his mana up. Let's help him with our totally useless Feral Innovate. Look at that. Restoring 448 mana. It's like 1k, man. So bad. So bad. So what did we say? I think it was the Mage video where we were in Deadmines last, wasn't it, guys? And we remember that some trash is more important than others. And we know in these pulls, these Evokers are bad news because of that Holy Fire. So we're going to make sure we're the ones interrupting. Throw off a Berserk on this trash just to help everything get killed. Come on, come on. Dare you to cast Holy Fire, my friend. I double dare you. Because I'm going to fuck you up if you do. There it is. Holy Fire interrupted. Job done. Now, unless our Rogue is on the case, or even our DPS Warrior, we're probably going to get Holy Fire in the next one, so we need to be ready for that, because we've got 2 Evokers. We're going to cycle on this one. Interrupt. Start AoE tanking, getting aggro on absolutely everything. There we go. We knew we were going to get Holy Fired eventually. So again, with these big AoE pulls, it's just a case of swiping on cooldown, then thrashing on cooldown, and using Mangle on various mobs. So we're going to focus on this Evoker for now, just to make sure he doesn't Holy Fire the hell out of us.